So Dash has been blowing her coat lately. When she sheds, you can really see the brown undertones. She isn't a black and white dog. She's seal and white, which is brown and black at the same time. You can see it when she sheds. You can see it when she's in the sun. It's April now. Got some dragonflies. Beautiful spring day. Started with a thunderstorm. I think it's going to end with one because it's very humid and very windy. And if I were back in Florida, I would say, oh, there's going to be a storm soon. But then again, there's a thunderstorm every day. You can also see that she's seal and white, not black and white. The difference in how she and Yadkin reflect the light. The black parts of Yadkin's fur are just black. He's a tricolor, so he's black, white, and tan. And that black reflects light. I mean, the black parts of Dasher do too, but less well. So in direct sunlight, his fur looks shinier, whereas the lighter brown parts of Dash's fur don't reflect as well. So she's slightly less shiny. This wasn't the case though until before his adult coat grew in. He used to just be a fuzzy bear, fuzzy little puppy with his puppy coat. He's 11 months old now. He'll be a year in like 20 something days. This is pretty much his adult height, weight, coat. I think Dash got a bit more feathering, but not much. By the time she was a year, she was mostly herself. I expect he'll be the same. Except he's very much a puppy brain. Actually, Dash was too at a year. It's hard to not compare them. I have to remind myself that Dash is 5 years old. And Yadkin has not even been alive a year. And I think time has smoothed out a lot of the silly things Dash used to do when she was his age. And also they have very different personalities. They both like eating grass though. Enjoying your salad, Dash? Yeah? You didn't have to stop. Alright. You can eat grass. Go for it. Good dogs. So, I know this trail because when I TA'd herpetology, we took the students here, where the gravel road turned off that way. That's where we drove them up to the top of some hill or other. We were looking for snakes, turtles, herps. We're looking for all the herps, except for salamanders and frogs. Used wetter places for that, but you know, the other ones. I don't really like walking on the gravel. It's kind of hard, even in hiking shoes. So I just go where the trail stays grass or dirt road. Keep following it this way. I think a lot of my mountain bikers come down here and the gravel way. I think going this way makes it less likely to run into anyone else. Like, not many cars can go down that road, right? It's all rutted out. It's all mud. Don't quite know where that goes. But another thing I like about this, kind of like that it reminds me of Florida. The pine and the grass. It's all scrubby. It's really sunny. It's hot. I guess hot, it's just the weather thing. A lot of the area near me is really forested, which is nice. I like the woods. But I also like more open forest, like a pine forest. Or like, not even forest, it's just like kind of clear here. Hillier than Florida. Less dangerous wildlife. Not as hot. Deer tracks. Something walked down that way. Deer path. Dog smell something came this way. Ooh. Alright. I was going to say an animal pooped there. But then Yadkin decided that he was going to add his little contribution to that pile. This trail looks more like what I see around here. Leaf litter, forest, closed canopy. I don't come here much, so I don't really know where most of these go. Including this. But the plan is to find somewhere to sit and read and write and let the dogs play for a while before we go back home. Back to Pine. Check this out. This is interesting. Check that out. This tree. I think we might head back. I saw a nicer spot on the way here. Someone asked me once how I get them to stay with me. It's nothing I've done. And they do kind of want it. They just don't like to be too far away for too long. They run and then they come back. Or they see something and they go investigate it, they come back. They notice that I'm not where they last saw me, they start looking. If I had to rank them, I would say Leo was probably the least concerned with staying near me and figuring out where I was. She was willing to have me out of sight, hearing distance, if she was interested enough in usually hunting something, swimming. But she would eventually start looking for me. She'd get pretty panicked if she couldn't find me. That only happened as she got older, though. And I didn't notice that for a long time because Dash took it upon herself, no training from me, to kind of look after where Leo was, keep track of her, and if she got separated, it's too far away, we turned the corner, she would go get her, bring her back. She would also do that in the house. If I called the dogs, or I called Leo, Dash would go get her and wake her up from wherever she was napping. So it took me a long time to realize she was losing her hearing and that she would sometimes get confused in the woods. If she couldn't see me, she wouldn't realize where we'd gone. But, yeah. I'd say Leo's the most independent. Dash is probably the least. Yadkin, I think, is going to be in the middle, but I'm not sure. Yadkin's still very young. And sometimes when I'm out, a lot of times, Dash will be willing to go further from my side than Yadkin. So it's not readily apparent, but I've known Dash for 5 years. And she's really focused on me. And she really doesn't care about much else, more than me, except for chasing deer. She does love chasing deer. specifically deer. And that's the only thing that she'll like run to where she can't see or hear me anymore. But she always comes back without me even having to call. Yadkin's young, but he strikes me as like an independent soul. Honestly, he spends more time keeping track of where Dasher is following her than he does me. But see, I went where they couldn't see, so he ran towards me, and Dash came too. I mean, sometimes Yadkin can't keep up with where Dash is going, so he'll just hang out with me. Also, Yadkin gets hot faster. He's got more fur. It is fun watching their personalities develop. And I don't think you know as much about the dog's personality and what they're like and what they'll do when they're just in a house all day. And maybe they get out, they can slip by you by the door when you're bringing the groceries, and they run around and act crazy. But if you go outdoors with them for a long, long time, just go out in the woods with them a few days, you really get a sense of their personality, how adventurous they are, how brave they are, how friendly they are to strangers, how they react to like novel noises and animals, things in their space, how curious they are, how athletic they are, how much stamina they have, how much they love rolling in poop and dead animals. All those things. This might be the spot to sit and read. Clearing like this reminds me a lot of Florida. Carpenter bee. I guess it can't just be Florida. Pine savannas are supposed to be a feature of the entire Southeast, all the way west to Texas. Dogs are still now because it's not immediately apparent what direction we're traveling. Or maybe they're just smelling stuff on the wind. It's easy to overinterpret the things they do, so you can't really know for sure. And I think just like people, there's never just one reason. Oh shit. I found something cool. It's bones. Wow, they're clean too. Move over, dogs. Get this. Wow. Good find, Pops. is so interesting. This cloud's gone. Cool. The dogs.